Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's all the Geekonomics. We are back with another week, another show. We apologize for the technical issues from last week. You got the audio, but there wasn't any video. We have since investigated and fixed that situation, so we should be all set for this week.
Fingers
crossed.
Fingers crossed.
So we are back. It is the day after the East of the River Comics and Collectibles show. Brian, I'm assuming, sold multitudes of stickers at his booth.
Yes, I did.
He's the sticker man.
Mm-hmm. If it wasn't for the stickers, I really wouldn't have made a lot of money. Ever since my comic book collection that I've been selling got sold,
yes,
I'm going through my own collection, weeding out things I don't need. But stickers have been the biggest draw for me, and especially to kids, you know. And we have our next shows in Manchester, Andrew's big show at the end of July.
Yes,
the 24th, which is,
I believe,
it's a Sunday, I think so.
Yeah, the 24th. Yeah.
Now, for people who don't know, this is very toy oriented. There is a cosplay contest. It's very kid friendly.
Yeah.
So, and there's going to be a lot of cheap stuff there, a lot of expensive stuff, a lot of nostalgia stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great time for the whole family.
And Matt Ryan will be there doing caricatures, I believe.
Oh,
courtesy of Andrew. So you can go get your caricature done. I think for free. Don't hold me to that. I'll have to find out from Andrew, but I think that was the deal that they struck last show. So
how about you just don't mention any of that, Mark?
Well, no, I'm just either way. Matt will do caricatures either way. You might have to pay him for them. I'll do them for free. I'm not sure which way it is yet, but
yeah,
he'll be by himself. I won't be there. So
you'll be on vacation, right?
No, I'll be in Maine for a go-kart race.
Gotcha. So that's happening. This weekend was good. It was hotter than hell.
The weather was nice. It's still gross outside.
It's a little humid, but at least it's not 91.
No, it's just thick out there. I walked out of the house today. I was like, oh, like I could push the air away from me as I'm walking through it.
Yeah. So we're at the beginning of summertime. Enfield 4th of July is this weekend.
Next Monday.
Is Enfield 4th of July this weekend?
I can look it up. It is.
Do you know Enfield 4th of July?
Yes, they're having bands and everything. It's all back.
Oh yeah, it is. The Enfield 4th of July Town Celebration, July 8th, 9th.
Oh, so next weekend. Again, so next weekend. Everything's next weekend. Mark,
yeah, we're all thrown off, huh?
Yeah.
I think Hartford's might be this weekend. That's why.
Oh, maybe that's why, yeah.
We're seeing.
Yeah, you can go see Thor, and then you can go to the town celebration.
Yeah, the town celebration is happening, and
you know what is this weekend though?
What?
Which I know you see probably in your travels to and from work if you go that direction. East Long Meadows, July 4th celebration carnival.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't drive through East Long Meadow, so I don't see that.
Yeah, they have their big carnival from Thursday through Monday, maybe, or Sunday at the least. But
I'm going to give you a quick rundown of the musical acts that will be happening next weekend right here in good old Enfield.
Yes, the headliners. We got some headliners.
Yeah, Friday, July 8th, Johnny Six Gun at 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock, Trailer Trash, which are very popular, even though I think you could just put on Rock 102, you get the same.
Well, they're country. They do more country stuff, I believe.
No, they're like classic rock.
Oh, are they? I thought they were like country stuff.
You know what? You could be right.
I don't know. I know they play at Sonny's all the time. So
yes. Saturday, July 9th, you have Autograph.
Yes.
Turn up the radio. Turn. Remember that song?
Kind of, sort of.
Vixen at 8:30 and Slaughter at 10 p.m. Oh boy.
Yes.
And Sunday.
Even still before that, on Saturday, Brian, at 1 p.m., you have Knucklehead. At 2 p.m., you have King Cool. At 3 p.m., you have Beyond Purple. At 4:15, you have Last Child. And then at 5:30, the biggest AC/DC cover band in the area, Back in Black.
I want to know who decided to name their band King Cool, spelled Kuel.
I'm assuming someone in the band.
That's bizarre.
Yeah.
Okay. You're right, Mark. You have all that. And on Sunday, we have for bands, I'm going
At
down
2:30, you have the Battle of the Bands winner from the Teen Zone.
Teen Zone.
Which is always a hoot. And then at 3 p.m. you have Coltrane. No idea what that is. 4:30 p.m. you have Last Licks. Again, no idea what that is. Then at 6 p.m. you have the RTM reunion.
Who's RTM?
I have no idea. And then at 7:30 you have the Michael Allman Band from the Allman Brothers.
One half of the Allman Brothers.
Yes, he's one of the Allman Brothers.
And then 9:45, the spectacular fireworks.
Yes, the fireworks.
This is the first year back since the pandemic started.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and there will be the taste, I'm assuming.
It's the Taste of Enfield celebration. They'll have all the vendors, all the food, all the debauchery, all the craziness.
Yes, the taste opens at 5 p.m. on Friday.
I will not be there.
Yes. Yes. And then the
I haven't
parade
been
is on Saturday at 11 a.m.
As I've gotten older, I don't like being around that many people. Like, I wouldn't mind going there in the afternoon.
Yeah.
But honestly, it is just not worth going that later because it is packed.
Yeah. It gets kind of, even when I was like younger and when we used to film it for here, it was even still kind of awkward, like not awkward, just weird. It like felt like there was too many people in one place at one time.
See, as a teen, I did love it. It was a place to be for me. I saw all my friends. I used to volunteer. I had a great time. Even in my early 20s, I enjoyed it. But then as I approached my 30s, I think you and me have gone to a couple concerts. We saw the Beatles tribute band there one time.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
And I think I saw a really good Led Zeppelin tribute band there one time. Oh, we saw Foghat there, remember?
Foghat, yeah.
Blue Oyster Cult.
Blue Oyster Cult, yeah.
Eddie Money. But Edgar Winter played there.
Yeah.
But as I've gotten older, none of these bands speak to me, and the crowd does not speak to me anymore. I'd rather be home.
Yeah. And the one thing I'm on their website and trying to find, I haven't seen like the list of like places that are being part of the. I don't even see anything about the Taste of Enfield at all.
Oh, it's not called the Taste of Enfield anymore, so maybe they're not having food.
Well, I see it. It says it, but it's not like a list of like who the different places are. Usually there's like a, like who's the places involved in the taste.
At their webpage, there's no mention of food at all.
Yeah.
It says event.
Like if you go on the
they have wine tasting. Section, oh, wait, hold on.
If you go in the FAQ section, it says, will there be food? Or there'll be food, I should say.
Food?
Yes, we will have the Taste of Enfield with a full lineup of food and beverages, including old favorites plus new treats. But it's not like restaurants, I don't think. I think it's just random booths that they're doing, like their own thing this year.
Well, there's going to be restaurants. There's always restaurants. I'm sure Jonathan's will be there. The waffle guy will be there. The pierogi place will be there.
Well, here's another thing. If you go into their forms and application section, there's not one thing that's like, there's a craft and vendor applications, but there's nothing like taste applications.
I don't know. This is a mystery, Mark.
This is a curious thing now. I kind of like want to delve into this and find out what's going on here. Like, are we not having the restaurants do it again anymore?
Let's not waste our time. We have a week to figure it out.
These are curious questions I have that I'd like answered. If anyone out there knows the answers to these questions and more, please reach out and let us know.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it on web pages either. I'm not
Yeah,
seeing food
right.
rent.
It's kind of strange. Usually they would have like so and so will have this, so and so will have that. Pierogi Queen will be there with pierogies.
Yeah, they're
Uh,
just saying that they're gonna have their traditional.
yeah,
We plan to have all the great events you've come in the past, including a craft and vendor marketplace, community tables, kids rides and games, parade, road race, taste of Enfield, teen zone. But that's it.
just
I mean,
curious, just
I'm.
curious situation. That's all.
It's the first year back. I bet you they're gonna have a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
I'm sure they have.
it's always an experience. It's a fun people watching experience. The taste of it, the 4th of July town celebration.
Yes, yeah. So that's the big news, really.
Yeah, around here, around these parts, it's the big news.
Right, right.
I'm pretty sure out west, no one cares about this, but in the local 10 local town area of Enfield, it's the big happening.
In the tri-state area.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Mark, I guess we should talk about our thoughts on the season and the season finale, or the series finale, if they don't get season 2, of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes. Yes. Oh, Jesus.
You're so excited. You're
It just happened at the wrong time.
out.
Not any reflection on the show itself. It was just a weird timing of that. But
It's you. I'm so excited.
yeah, it just hit me. I don't know. It hit me.
I'm so tired.
I have to say I was oddly emotional during the season, during the finale. I got like when Obi-Wan was talking to Vader and the way they shot it with the light of the lightsabers, like switching as he was talking as Anakin kind of, and then it morphed into the red when he was like had basically like admitted he was Vader and all that.
Yeah.
That part. And he had like Obi-Wan was like, I'm sorry this happened. It was what it for me like made the show worth it.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed the finale. I still have issues with the show as a whole. Kind of felt like this could have been 4 episodes. The Reva stuff did not work with me at all.
Well, I think they took too long to get to her. They could have gotten to her solution earlier in the series and not stretched it out till the end.
Yeah,
I know what they were trying to do, but I don't think they did it in a way that worked.
They didn't do it well at all.
Like they were trying to like give Obi-Wan, like he couldn't save Anakin, but he could help Reva. Like that was like the thing they were trying to do with that storyline. To me, it's like
I don't buy
but
that.
they just didn't do it successfully. Like it was like giving like Obi-Wan that thing of here's the way, like you like Anakin wasn't your fault. He did that to himself. But Reva, you can help save before she does that to herself.
Well, she did have a redemption, which is great and all.
Yeah.
She figured it out pretty much on her own.
Yeah.
And I don't know. This show was just like everything just happened for no reason. And the fact that everybody got stabbed with a lightsaber that would probably kill you, they would just
well, they've established that like that's not a killing thing. Like Fennec got shot in the stomach and she survived. The Grand Inquisitor got stabbed in the stomach. He survived.
I know Reva just got stabbed in the stomach too, and then she survived. And I'm like, this is weird.
Yeah.
I've never witnessed this before in Star Wars where a lightsaber
impaling
just
basically is not like I mean you would think it would cauterize the wound as it goes through you because it's a laser. So
I mean, we've seen people die.
Yeah, but they get like sideways sliced. If you go through clean, it's different.
You would have a hole in you.
Yeah, but they just fix that. They just put some mechanical stuff inside there and you're fine.
I guess.
Remember, they're not humans. They're aliens. So they're not the same body structure as we would be, technically.
The Jedi.
I know, but the alien, the people on the show technically don't have the same anatomy as a human would. Because they're not humans. They're aliens.
Well, I don't know. Anyway, needless
From
to
a
say,
galaxy far, far away. It's not Earth in the past or anything that we're talking about here.
the writing on the show is wonky at times, and I
It's
feel
also
like
Star Wars, so you also got to like chalk it up to that. It's like it's Star Wars.
listen. My criticism,
This
I
isn't
enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Hamlet or any kind of like in-depth storytelling.
Mark. I know. Listen. I'm not shitting on it. I enjoyed it for what it was. But if they do a season 2, just get rid of those writers. Get someone good
I don't
in
think
there.
they even need to do a season 2. I think
They
the season
don't.
2 thing is just a fan thing. Like the fans want a season 2. But what
No,
would you really
there's an article with Ewan McGregor and saying they would do a season 2 if
of course
they
he would. Why
and
wouldn't
they left it open. They left it open for a season 2.
Yeah, but what would you do though? What would be the story to that? Like what other things would you need to tell that we don't know?
You know what? I'll say this right now. I'm going to preface this. For me, and I know you're different, and that's fine. For me, Star Wars, I like when Disney goes in a new original route, a la Mandalorian.
No, I know. I like that stuff too.
I'm kind of over filling in these gaps that I've used my imagination. I'll watch it, I enjoy it, but I'm not that excited by the Book of Boba Fett or Solo or now this. It just feels like, all right, I want to see something new, and I know you can do new good.
Yeah,
so I'm kind of.
I think there's also the thing of there's ways that they could tell, like they could continue Obi-Wan, but with a Reva story.
No, Reva's story.
I'm saying, but like as like an original character in the universe that she is now.
They could have done her story by herself.
That's what I'm saying. Like they could, like this could have been like a la Book of Boba Fett, a way to move along a story of a new character. Like you could have made this, like this technically could be Reva's origin story.
It could have been the Inquisitor.
Now you could then turn her into her own show.
I'm
saying, but that's what that's what the thought process could have been. I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. You could do this and say like, okay, now we're gonna do like a la like Fallen Order. This could be like a story of a Jedi that goes out to redeem herself. Now she's like trying to like right things that she once put wrong, kind of thing, like off doing good.
This show
hiding out as a Jedi and having to deal with hiding around as a Jedi.
Well, this show could have been about the Inquisitors, and Reva's character could have had a better story arc where we get to learn more about her, and we could have saw her go from one extreme to the next We got this abridged version of that. And I kind of felt like maybe that could have been its own show. Obi-Wan could have been its own show. Maybe they meet up, but I felt like they pushed two ideas.
I feel like they wanted to do the Reva story with Vader and the Inquisitors. And I think the thing was they couldn't sell it without putting Obi-Wan in it. Because would you have watched just the Reva show without Obi-Wan in it whatsoever? That whole story being out of it.
I hate to break it to Mark. No matter what they dish out, we end up watching. So I mean, they made.
I know, but I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there as as a theory.
If they did an Inquisitor show, like say Obi-Wan didn't happen, it was the Inquisitors.
Yeah.
That's something new and refreshing, something different.
So I think what if that's what their plan was, is to use this Obi-Wan show as a special one-off, as a way to launch into a Reva show.
But see, her story arc is done.
But her redemption arc is done.
Yeah.
But you could still continue the story of Reva out in the universe.
I'd rather have Inquisitors
and fighting against the Inquisitors, and have Vader in the background as like being Vader, controlling the Inquisitors, trying to chase Reva.
They could do that. That could be interesting.
And then you don't have to have Obi-Wan in it, because he's off doing his own thing now back in the mountains.
I don't know what he's doing now. What is he's got to be watching Luke. Now
he's gonna go out and do in the New Hope, where he's off, where they find him where we find him in the mountains on Tatooine. Like he's like overseeing Luke, but not like he was doing at the beginning of the series, where he was like basically monitoring him the whole time and trying to be involved in his life. Now he's just going to let it go. And Luke comes and finds him. That's why they're going to say like him being out in the desert for so long and not knowing like what's going on or anything.
But see, it's interesting because now Reva, he has to trust her that she is not going to spill the beans at all. Which is
that's, I think that might be the next series. Could be, like I'm saying, Reva out doing Jedi things and being like the Last Jedi kind of thing, like out doing stuff. And then the Inquisitor's trying to hunt her down to stop her, you know?
Yeah.
Because you have like all these built-in characters now. You have like Roken, Ice Cube's son, and you have or whoever's son that is. Ice Cube, right? Yeah. That's Ice Cube's son.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The guy who was the ship captain. That's Ice Cube's son, I think.
Are you just saying that?
No, I think it's Ice Cube's son. Because he was in the NWA movie with Dr. Dre's son.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the finale, you know.
But anyways, so I think they could do that. Like they could be like, it could be like the beginning of the rebellion story.
Maybe. It could. I mean, the finale I think was my favorite episode of the whole series. I did like the fight between them. They did take it right out of was it Clone Wars when half of his mask gets torn off.
Exactly. Yeah.
That was really well done. The whole thing, you know,
it's also from like the cartoons. They've done that too.
Yeah, I killed Anakin, you know, and that was great. I loved that all. I thought it was a great.
Because here's the thing too, kind of going back to just the theory I have of the show, like that character, the ship captain Roken, could appear in Andor. Because Andor takes place roughly around the same time frame, like a little bit farther on in the timeline.
Yeah, I don't know where Andor.
Supposedly it takes place 5 years or so, or some amount of time before Rogue One.
Yeah.
So by then, Obi-Wan's story takes place 5 years after the Sith movie. The third movie.
Revenge of the Sith.
Yes. Yep. Or 10 years, right? Because Leia's 10. So
yeah.
10 years after that.
Yeah.
So it's right around that same time. They could be doing it like this was like a way to bridge to the Andor shows. The Andor story. And like those characters that were in that show, like Roken and those guys, could be in that show too. And then Reva pops into that Andor show. So you can be starting another world storytelling.
Maybe. I mean,
you have like the pre-universe of New Hope with these stories and these shows, and then you have the post Return of the Jedi shows with Mandalorian and Boba Fett in that group. So you could have like two worlds going at the same time.
Yeah, totally.
Because they both been two things we've never really delved into ever. Like you've never really delved into what happened between the third episode and the fourth episode, besides Rogue One and now Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
So you have like that whole time frame that you could work around in universe-wise, and now you have the time frame after Return of the Jedi till Force Awakens that you can play around in.
Which they're doing, yeah. That seems to be the case. But yeah, we'll see where it goes. I mean. The final episode was the best. I kind of feel like they cut out some of there was some fat in the show that, like I said, I felt like it could have been great. Some like 4 great episodes, you know, a little tightened up. Felt like it was just a little long in the tooth for me. But I mean, I enjoyed it. It was great to see Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan. Of course, he's amazing. Yeah. I like the supporting cast. It was great to see Darth Vader wreck house.
And he was great as Darth Vader.
Yeah, I mean, seeing all that stuff was really fun.
Yeah.
Just I kind of felt like some of the odd choices they made, the things we've talked about in the past was just weird, and I kind of felt like better writing would have made it shine.
Yeah. They're not all gonna be home runs.
They're all not going to be the Mandalorian.
Yes. Yes.
But I mean, for this episode, I give it a 10 because it was the best out of
Yes.
all.
No, it was
the whole season.
basically what everything was building to.
Right.
So
they delivered.
Yeah.
I felt like they delivered. It was interesting. I've seen this brought up, and it was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. Usually with Star Wars, a redemption arc, that person dies.
Yeah.
And Reva didn't die.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a chance that I think that this was the vehicle to introduce that new character to the universe and then launch her off into her own world, kind of.
Maybe. Or she could be showing up somewhere else.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think that's like the thing. It's like it was a launching pod for this new New Hope universe that they're trying to do.
I would be more interested in the Inquisitors.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's tons of stories.
Yeah.
Like even before Rebels happens, where the Inquisitors were out doing stuff.
Right.
Like if they showed more, if there was a show like you were saying, like the Inquisitor show, where they're off hunting Jedi.
Yeah.
And killing Jedi, and Reva's like in the background trying to save Jedi. That'd be a cool show. I'd watch that show.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm happy the way this ended with Obi-Wan. I don't know if I really need to see more Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon. I mean,
I don't think you need to see those characters again. I think you could just do another season, not called like Obi-Wan.
Right.
But characters from that show now
continue.
Like you could have,
I agree with you. I think they could do something completely new and different with these set of characters they introduced and give us a fresh story instead of just relying on.
No, and I think they could still you could still, in doing that new show, you could still have Reva having to return to Tatooine to seek out Obi-Wan for advice or some sort, or some kind of like one thing, like a touch where he's in it, but not like about him. Like she goes there to like talk to him, and he like says like, I'm done, I'm out. I don't want to be involved in this anymore. I just want to live the rest of my days. Like that kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, you could still have a cameo or whatnot.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, because you got what's his face, the fake Jedi guy that you could still do stuff with, and that whole there's still plenty of ancillary characters that could in a grouping could do their own show.
Right, totally.
And not have Obi-Wan attached to it.
Yeah. Now, okay, let's go the other way. Say now they're open for it. Say they're like, okay, we're making Obi-Wan season 2. Now we know Qui-Gon showed up, so I don't know where they would go. It would be Obi-Wan learning more from Qui-Gon to make him.
No, I don't think it'd be him learning more from Qui-Gon. I think it would just be Obi-Wan
becoming one with the Force again, pretty much.
Now that he's back in the Force, I think it could be more like they kind of hinted at it in the beginning parts of this show, where they had that kid show up looking for help from Obi-Wan. And I think it could be like, you could have it be like Obi-Wan being like a person that secretly is helping build the rebellion.
Yeah.
Secretly is like involved in like helping them plan things, helping them like do small missions, helping them find Jedi, helping them find people or save people, and do it that way and make it more of a like. It was never said in the story that Obi-Wan was not, like in New Hope, it was never said Obi-Wan was not involved in the rebellion. It was just said that he was the last person that could help Leia at that time. So they could spin it and say this whole time Obi-Wan was helping the rebellion and no one knew it. Like he was always like the background leader of the rebellion.
He could be helping and going back to Qui-Gon for advice, sort of like he could be like Wilson. He'd be like, hey, like Tim Allen. He's like,
I don't even think he
Qui-Gon, I need help.
The Qui-Gon thing again. I think that was like this nice little thing just to kind of wrap up that story. But you could just, like I'm saying, I think you could spin it and say like Obi-Wan was a member of the rebellion this whole time. And he just acted like he wasn't involved and didn't want to be involved when Luke found him because he didn't want to bring Luke into it.
Right.
And then once he found out about the Leia thing, he knew he had to come back and like reveal himself as being a person involved in what's going on. Because how crazy would that be if this, like, during that whole time frame, like they talked about Obi-Wan and A New Hope and all that.
But
they never like you never see him and like connect or communicate with anyone besides Luke and Han Solo who wouldn't know he was involved in the rebellion whatsoever. But Leia could say, like, was telling him that he's their only hope because she knows he's the only person that could do anything to save her at that moment. So it could be like, we know you've always been like the secret leader, like one of the secret leaders of the rebellion, but we need you to come out of hiding basically to save me.
Yeah.
That could be like you could like spin it that way and like do a whole show where Obi-Wan's like helping build the rebellion, being like a advisor / kind of thing, like with a time jump, like making Leia like in her teen years or late teens, early 20s, like becoming a leader of the rebellion and that whole thing.
No, I agree. I think it could go either way. So it'd be just something nice and refreshing. But I think the Inquisitors would be nice. I think you can have them both probably.
You could do it like a whole thing. You could do that, like have Reva's story off on her own with the Inquisitors and tell that story about before they show up in Rebels and everything. And then you could also do a season 2 of Obi-Wan, but have it be a whole different show completely. No Inquisitors, no,
right.
Like that stuff's all been handled and over with. And just tell a different part of Obi-Wan's story. Like he was, without us knowing about it, because we never were actually told, we wouldn't know. Right. It just seemed like he was off in the mountains somewhere by himself and no one talked to him.
He was a hermit.
Yeah, everyone thought he was a hermit and he just was out doing his own thing. But it'd be kind of a cool story to find out, like, oh, this whole time Obi-Wan was helping the rebellion. And that's why the rebellion was so powerful, because they had Obi-Wan involved. Like Leia comes back and convinces him to help join building the rebellion to fight the Empire.
Yeah.
And he's like a secret, like, general of the Empire, of the rebellion.
Yeah, that would be cool. He's at the he knows about the underground kind of like tunnels they got going on now.
Yeah.
He sees what's happening. So
yeah, because you kind of hinted that he's there for the beginning of the rebellion, like in this series.
Yeah.
Like with the path and everything. That's basically what the rebellion is birthed from. So you could kind of like, you could tell the story, or like try to tell the story. I know people be like, oh, that's not what Obi-Wan's story was. We like it that he was a hermit and no one, because it's like you really don't have a story for Obi-Wan. Every other character in the canon has had their backstory told at this point, except Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
You got the backstory from the first 3 movies. We don't go like how he got to be this old guy just living in the mountains, besides what happened in this series. But that doesn't show, like, it just showed he's off into the mountains, but it doesn't mean like he just sat there for the next 20 years.
Well, it would be 8 because of Luke is 10 and Luke was like a young man. He was like 19, 20 when everything went down. So you got another 8 years.
Yeah.
8 or 9 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like they shouldn't do any more Luke's in trouble.
No, I don't think they need to do that at all. I think they could just do it as, like I was saying, like have it be like you can bring Jimmy Smits back as Bail Organa, and that could be like why they were centering on Alderaan is because they knew Bail Organa was, besides just being at Leia's home,
yeah,
and that's why they kidnapped her, like that's why they arrested her or whatever. But they could show like him and Obi-Wan like working together to build the rebellion, and like, or even just Bail Organa trying to convince Obi-Wan to come help build the rebellion, and him being like, no, I can't do it, I'm going to stay away.
right.
And then just show the reason why Obi-Wan decided to basically come out of retirement to do what he did.
Yeah. All right, Mark. Overall, what do you give overall for the whole series? What do you?
Well, I'll give the episode, like you did, a 10.
Yeah.
I'll give the series itself like a 9.
Yeah,
It's
I would
not
say
as
9.
good as Mandalorian,
No.
but it's better than Boba Fett.
Yes. I agree with that totally. I think Mandalorian is way up here.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan is like here, and Boba Fett's just underneath it.
Yeah.
I just really enjoy the originality of Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Telling a new different story.
Yeah,
and
no, exactly. I think that's what that's what this grouping of time frame needs, is a new character in that time frame. Like telling, like that's the thing I think Star Wars, you could do with Star Wars, is there's a whole galaxy of stories you could be telling.
Right. Let's not.
You could be grabbing characters that are in that galaxy and have them interact with your bigger characters, like Mandalorian's doing with Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Like Mandalorian met with Boba Fett and had a little thing with like a little story with Boba Fett. But it was mostly a Mandalorian season, but it was just like Boba Fett was involved in it. Like you could do that with like Reva. It could be a Reva show now and like interact with Obi-Wan.
Right.
Like the next season could be kind of a la Boba Fett. You could have it be a little bit about Obi-Wan, and then basically it's the Reva show, you know? Just the opposite way they did with Mandalorian and Boba Fett.
Right, totally. Or don't do season 2 and
and you have Ahsoka coming, and you have Andor coming. So
right, yeah, we don't need a season 2. Or
never know where these other characters might appear, like we were saying before, you know?
Right, do an Inquisitors show.
Yeah, well, they have that Prophet show. Like that's like set in the New Republic, though, isn't it? Like the Last Apostle or something.
Last Apostle. What is that?
They mentioned that during Star Wars Celebration, I think 2 years ago, and had all the big announcements of Ahsoka and everything.
They didn't mention that this year, did they?
I don't think they mentioned it this year, but I knew it was like one of the shows that was like thrown out there when they talked about the Cara Dune show, when they talked about like the X-Wing movie, Red Squadron.
Maybe it's a show that got shelved.
No, it was there. It's in like pre-production stuff. I remember that being a thing.
Well, I mean, just because they announced it doesn't mean it's going to happen. I mean, a lot of stuff gets shelved.
I'm looking it up right now. Hold on.
Obviously, Cara Dune show's not happening. The
Acolyte, that's the name of it.
What's it called?
The Acolyte.
Is it coming? Where is it in?
Acolyte is a Star Wars television series currently being developed by Leslie Headland for Disney Plus.
Oh.
The series will be a female-centric, and it will take place in a new part of the Star Wars timeline. The series was officially announced at Star Wars at May 4th, 2020. The series title, logo, and everything was revealed at the 2020 investors meeting. So it could,
It could happen.
I mean, if it's a female-centric show,
Right.
this technically could be the Riva show.
Or it could be something totally different because these shows were made different. I think it's.
And I think this one takes place in the okay. The show focused on the emergence of the dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era.
Okay.
So this is about the birth of the Sith, basically.
Oh, that should be interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. I'll buy that for $1.
Yeah. It's the lady that's the Leslie Headland is the creator of the mind-bending series Russian Doll.
Oh yeah, that's a great show.
Yeah.
I know season 2 dropped. I gotta watch that.
Acolyte is a mystery thriller that will take us into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era. So I think this is one of the ones that's next year, like down the end of next year.
Right.
Shows. Because they like threw out like tons of show ideas, like tons of shows that they're working on.
And then pandemic happened. So
this is 2020. So they still had there's I think it was right around the beginning.
I think it was in 2019 they did this, Mark, because the pandemic happened. And a lot of things either got
moved, just be pushed back, but I mean it's still out there in the ether. You know?
Yeah.
Still pre-production stuff, so they got time. Because Andor was mentioned in the same time frame, so and Ahsoka too was that same. But I think this was one of the ones that was like 2024, maybe. It was like they went out. Remember, they went out like years.
Yeah,
things that they planned out. So they're like, yeah, we'll see that.
They built these timelines of everything, and then 2020 happened, and they're like, these timelines mean nothing.
Yeah, so
we have to build new timelines, people. Speaking of timelines, Thor is next Thursday, so next week's show we can talk about Thor.
Catch up on Thor, where Thor is, what he's been up to.
I'm excited. I'm really excited. I know we didn't talk about things we've been watching or whatever, but I'm really enjoying This Flag Means Death. I'm like episode 4 or 5 in now.
First season was really good. It gets better as the season goes on.
Yeah, I really like where it's going. Then we just started watching the new season of Barry, which is phenomenal. And if you want to go to a good half an hour show.
Yeah, the show I gotta get into. It's one of those shows that I like think about and then like, oh, this other show came out. I gotta watch that instead.
Welcome to my life. This weekend,
like Umbrella Academy dropped, and I was like, oh, I totally forgot Umbrella Academy came out.
Yeah, I feel like there's so much content dropping right now. It's really hard to keep track of.
I'm only like a couple episodes into Umbrella Academy.
Is it good?
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it yet.
Watch the whole series.
I want to say I'm like 3 episodes in, and it hasn't really grabbed me yet. The Sparrow Academy stuff is kind of, I don't know.
Well, don't ruin it.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I just like, yeah.
I think for me, this summer, I'm going my next graphic novel because I just finished Batman Gang Wars. I am going to read The Umbrella Academy. I have all 3 volumes, and I'm going to jump into.
I've read all 3 of them too, and it's like they're not in the same. Like they're hinting at what the thing is that it is, but it's not the same. It's kind of weird. They went off.
But you know how I am.
Timeline.
I like reading the source material, and that gets me interested in watching the show.
Yeah, so they did a very good job. I will say, they did a very good job of handling Elliot Page's transformation in the story.
Yeah, I read an article.
Yeah,
they did a good job about that.
Yeah, they did a very good job of it.
So I'm excited to jump into that show. It's a show that's been on my radar. I watched the first episode. I'm hoping to get Allison sucked in. It'll be easier for me to watch.
Yeah.
But if I'm not into it, I'm going to start reading it. I'll start watching it. I'm almost done with season 1 of Orville, which I love. Yeah. I love the.
It's better. This gets better.
I know that show. I'm so happy I rediscovered
I'm in season 3 of that, and I'm like actually watching it in time on Hulu, and it's very painful because I have to like wait for the actual episodes to come out.
Yeah. Well, this weekend,
along with The Boys, which is even more annoying.
We're waiting. I think it's got 2 more weeks and it's the season.
They just did Herogasm this last episode.
Oh, I know what that entails in the comics. So
Not the same. It's worse in the show.
Well, in the comic, it is an island where all the superheroes
They didn't do it that way.
They get to have sex,
Yes.
drugs, and they basically get pent up all their frustration. They get it out
Yes.
at this
They didn't do it
island.
the same way.
Well, I figured as much, but they can in the comic. They basically just destroy. They have hookers, they have drugs. They just go to town. They can kill people. Nobody will ever know.
Yes.
And the world thinks they're off in outer space,
Yes.
saving the planet.
No, yeah, they did a whole different. They went a whole different direction with it. But
well, I figured they had to.
Yes,
because it was.
Yeah. I knew it was coming because at the very beginning of this, they called the episode that. And at the very beginning, they have like a long, like disclaimer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like just be forewarned, you're gonna see things. And then they did some crazy things in the episode. I was like, oh man.
All right. Well, don't tell me.
Big body count. That's all I gotta say.
We're gonna watch the finale of Stranger Things this weekend drops.
Cool. Which I heard is a bigger body count.
So
Duffer Brothers even said like, get ready for a body count.
Well, shh. No. I don't want to know anything. After that, we're gonna jump into The Boys.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to watch Stranger Things. Well, you know what? Next Monday, we talk about Stranger Things. That's going to be our next.
That's all we get to talk about because it's going to be worth the 4 hours.
And we'll be coming right out of it that weekend. So
2-hour episodes or more.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long one. It's going to be ones you're going to need to set aside some time.
So next Monday is a holiday. Well, we can record on Tuesday.
I thought that's what we were planning on doing.
Okay. All right. We'll record on the 5th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Mark. Is there anything else before we wrap up the show? I think we
I don't
did it all. It wasn't a big week.
It wasn't. I'm trying to figure out. I heard they announced the links. Oh, episode 8 for Stranger Things is 1 hour and 25 minutes.
Okay, that's normal.
Episode 9 for Stranger Things. Hold on to your butts. 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Holy crap. That's like a normal, that's like a superhero movie.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Buckle in.
Yeah. All the episodes have been running over an hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
it's been a lot.
I know. It's going to be good. It's going to be good, baby.
Yeah.
All right, Mark. Well, we will see everybody next Tuesday. Have a great 4th of July weekend, and we'll be talking about Stranger Things.
Yes, everyone have a happy and safe holiday weekend. Hope you all get to have your hot dogs, hamburgers, brats, or whatever you have on your brats, wursts. And be safe with the fireworks out there, kids. Don't blow your hands off. As always, be safe. Be good.
Be kind.
Be kind.
Rewind.
Bye, everybody. Happy July 4th.